What is up, guys, and welcome to my very first video showcasing F1 2016 gameplay that I am playing. Today we're going to play through the career mode, starting off from the first race in Melbourne. I can't wait to get into this series. It's just going to be the preview build of the game, so I believe it's the first 4 races, and I'm going to be doing a whole heap of different gameplay aspects as well to showcase for you guys. So if there's anything you want to see in this build of the game, then make sure you let me know down in the comments. And also, if you could absolutely smash a like button on this video, then that would really help me out. And I'll hopefully reward you guys by uploading a few videos today so that you guys can see exactly what F1 2016 is all about. Of course, if you haven't seen my content before, make sure you subscribe to see plenty more F1 2016 content in the next few weeks, months that this game is going to be out. So without further ado, let's get into this career mode and see what it's all about. Okay guys, so this year we have the regular career mode, which we've seen in previous iterations of F1 games, but here we have Pro Career, and this is ultimately the Pro Season mode version of a regular career mode. So if you want to turn off the HUD, you want to have all assists off, you want to have the ultimate difficulty with no assists on and no HUD or anything, and in cockpit cam, you go Pro Career. But if you want a regular one, like we've seen in the past, and you go regular career mode, you have the options of short race weekend, full race weekend. I'm going to go custom so that I can make things exactly how I want to. And we're going to advance, and now you'll see all the difficulty options. We have very easy, medium, hard, and expert. Now this, no, and then legend, sorry. And this is where the difficulty would stop in previous games, but for F1 2016, they've added another level of difficulty, Ultimate Edition. So it's basically a step up from the hardest difficulty we've ever seen. So this should really challenge the aliens of F1 gaming. So if you really want to challenge them, this is the difficulty setting for you. But for this video, for the sake of this video, we're going to test out Legend and see what that's like in comparison to previous F1 games. We are creating a profile now. You have the choice to choose your own avatar in F1 2016, so they give you a whole list of different avatars to choose from. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I basically, in this video, want to show you guys what the career mode hub is like, and just kind of walk you through this first episode. So I apologize if this episode is going to be very long. I just want to show you everything that's at play for this career mode this year. So these are all the helmets. I like that black and gold one. Bear in mind, this is actually the first time I've seen the helmets for this year. Back when I played in March, they only had the driver's helmet, so a really nice selection of helmets, I must say. I like that green and gold one. I must say I am quite privy to the to a gold helmet, so it's gonna be a tough one. It's between that one and this one and the bottom one. You know what? For this video, I'm gonna go with that one. That one looks quite nice. Let's select. You can you can also change the color characteristics of your helmet, but we're not going to play with that. I actually think that's perfect so far. Hopefully we can play with that a little bit later. You select your... No, I am not Argentinian. I'm Australian. Driver number. Now these are the 3 numbers that we have to choose for career mode. So you can't use a driver's number that is already in F1. So Kimi Räikkönen number 7. If you want to be number 7, you can't do that, unfortunately. So we have 2, 4, 10, 13, 15, 16, 18, 23. Let's see what we have to choose. My favorite number is actually number 8. So I hate you, Romain Grosjean, for still occupying my race number. I don't know, I think I'm a little bit superstitious with numbers. Like, I feel like the lower the number, the faster you're going to be for some reason. But I don't want to go number 2. That belongs to Mark Webber right there, number 2 driver. I think I'm going to go with number 18. You put in your abbreviated name and your regular name, and that is all the details for your profile creation for career mode. Team selection. Now you need to select a team to race for. Each team has different expectations and conditions, so make sure you choose carefully. So the higher the team you are, the higher the expectations are going to be, obviously, and the harder it's going to be to achieve those expectations. So if you're driving for Mercedes, you literally need to finish 1 or 2 in every single race. Otherwise, your agents, your team engineer, bosses, all that kind of thing, they're not going to be happy with you. Whereas if you're driving for a Manor or a Haas or a Sauber, if you know, get in the top half of the field, then they'd be ecstatic with you, and you'd have a really good standing within the team. So that's the kind of dynamic that goes on in this career mode. It's quite layered this year. There's actually a lot of depth, and I'll get into that a little bit later on in the video when the time is right. But at the moment, I actually don't know which team I'm going to go for, to be honest. I am still undecided as I'm making this video. Obviously, I don't want to choose the team that I'm going to be using in my actual career mode. This is just going to be a placeholder and just showing you guys what the career mode is like. So I'm tempted to go... Oh man, I'm tempted to go in a team I haven't been in a while. This is really tough. This is actually really tough. By choosing a team, I'm ultimately saying I will not drive this team in the first season of career mode. It has to be Renault Sport F1. So there we go. We're going to drive in the Renault, the banana car, and see how she goes. And just explore the basic elements of R&D for these first 4 races of the season. So without further ado, let's jump in the Renault for our first race in F1 2016 career mode. Oh wow, we can actually choose our teammate. This was not a thing back when I played it. Yes, I would like to have Magnussen as my teammate because you always want to have a strong teammate in order to back you up in the constructors. So I'd always want to choose the faster out of the 2 drivers. So let's start the career mode right now. These are the customizable settings just before you start the race weekend. We can choose our tyre allocation, and this is brand new to me as well. So just bear in mind, I haven't seen Arav, I haven't seen XMattyG's videos yet, so this is all very brand new to me, and a lot of these features weren't actually properly implemented into F1 2016 when I played it back in March. So this is the tyre allocation preference. I guess by pressing left and right, you can change the balance of the tyre sets. I would like to go aggressive. That is having more soft tyres, because I quite favour having the softer rubber and potentially making more stops, because we've seen so far in this season the medium tyre has often been the tyre that has been a little bit average, so to speak. So we're going to go with the softer allocation of tyres, 50% race distance, short qualifying, full practice. We'll explore some of the practice options as well. We will also turn off some of the assists, hopefully. Well, I'm glad I had a look at this. Legend difficulty, no assists, no driving line, absolutely nothing there in the way of assists. And there we go. I believe we are ready to finally start this race weekend here in Albert Park. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Emma Jenkins. I'm a specialist in contract law, and I've been brought in to work as your agent. I'll be working to get you the best deal in the boardroom, which means you need to do the best possible job out there on the circuit. When you get new contract offers, either from new teams or an amendment to your existing offer, it'll come through me. I'll also keep you up to date on discussions behind the scenes to change your terms, or any specific goals that the team has set for you. If a contract offer does come through, I'll present to you the available offers, and then you can make the call. I assume that all sounds fine. Well then, good luck this season, and I'll catch you later.
Okay, thank you very much. We briefly just met our agent there. New contract. Dear Benjamin, welcome to Renault Sport Formula 1 team. We are delighted to have you on board and look forward to working closely with you over the upcoming seasons. You will start as our second driver along teammate Kevin Magnussen. We expect you to work together to help develop the car and the team as quickly as possible. Now, let's get out there and win some points. Kind regards, the team management. Thank you very much, guys. Unfortunately, at the moment, I am on a wheel, so I can't look around and see the environments, but this is the kind of atmosphere that you're presented with just before you start a race weekend, or just before you start a session. This is like your central hub. Just before you go out on track, you can see like the background of all the different Formula 1 paddocks. This is Melbourne, as you can see the lake off in the distance, the CBD of Melbourne as well, and you can see all of your team, your crew, a few, you know, special people, what are they called, VIPs and stuff that you have, whether they be sponsor people or anything like that. I'm going very technical in this video, as you can see. Let's open the laptop, because this is the bridge to starting every session. As you can see here, you've got quite a lot of information here. In the top right, you can see the resource points. Now, those are the R&D points to upgrade your car. You'll build those up as you achieve objectives in qualifying in the race, but mainly they are earned in practice by running through the program and achieving those goals. So as you can see here, you've got lots of other information as well, your personal details, you already know that, your driver position within the team. If you're in the red, then you'll be below the team's expectations and you'll be close to getting fired from the team or demoted maybe to Toro Rosso, something like that, if you're in a Red Bull car. If you're in the green section, then you're on target, and if you're purple, then you're exceeding the team expectations and you're going very close to possibly being promoted to #1 driver, or maybe even being snapped up by another team, who knows. And dead in the middle of the screen, you can see the rivalry. We currently don't have a rival at the moment, but that'll be explained to us very soon. At first, it starts off as your teammate, and then after you beat him after 3 or 4 races, then it switches to a driver that is very near you in the Drivers' Championship, or someone that you've just been racing a lot on track. So the game will decide that for you. If you beat your rival, then of course you do attract a lot of attention from other teams and what have you. So there's short, medium, and long-term goals throughout the career mode. But I'll explain that later. I don't want to drag this video on too long, but I'm just explaining to those guys who don't know too much about this year's career mode. We'll scroll across to the tutorials tab if we can. No, we can't. That's brilliant.
Welcome to Melbourne, where the practice session is about to start for this weekend's Australian Grand Prix. The pre-race talking is over. Now it's time for the drivers to show their worth. So Anthony, lots to do of course in these sessions, lots of programs to run. What are you looking for when you jump in the car for free practice?
Well, you have basic checks first of all. Is the car working correctly? What are the track conditions like? And you'll be chasing that as the session goes on. Things like that. Then you start getting into the nitty-gritty of it all, and they become more like test sessions where it's all about gathering new data, testing components, tweaking the setup and so on. So there's only so much actual practice that these drivers need. Most of them will be plenty familiar enough with the track layout, either from previous...
It was quite funny because that first shot, as it showed me in the F1 2016 paddock in my Renault, the guy with the clipboard, he was actually the guy who was walking me through the career mode back in March when I first played this, so it was actually quite nice to see his face. Oh, I'm talking over the engineer, great. So I completely missed that because I took my headset off.
When you get a chance, make sure to run some of our practice programs. They don't all need to be done in one session, but there's valuable data there to help race strategy and car development.
I tell you what guys, it is good to be back on F1 2016 in the career mode hub. As you can see, this is the practice program. You got track acclimatization. I recommend you doing that first because that is really, I guess, easy points, I suppose, to getting upgrade points, and you also learn the track. Just try and hit apexes. It's good for those who are coming to a new track or possibly to a new game who really need to learn like how to be fast and just like learn all the reference points in order to be acclimatized with the track. That's exactly what it is, a track acclimatization test. Moving on, you have your tyre management test, and that is where you run a race stint on a set of tyres in practice. Not a full race stint, but say a good 10-lap stint or so, and you build up data on your tyres, and it gives you good information for the race, and it gives you good information for seasons beyond the first season at a particular track, just to know what the tyre wear is like, what the drop-off is like. They'll give you a graph as well to show like the lap time related to the tyres and how that works versus other compounds. So it's very, very useful information if you want to work out your strategies yourself. Moving on to qualifying pace, that is basically doing a qualifying run. Low fuel, try and smash the best lap you can, and you get upgrade points towards that as well. And then of course here you have your team objectives, and these are pretty much just passive objectives where you can basically achieve these over the course of the session. Fastest sector 3, get a top speed, beat the average speed in the speed trap, long run, set 3 consecutive fast laps. Just basically a whole bunch of things that you can do over the course of the session, and you'll get upgrade points towards those as well. So it basically rewards you putting time in to practice. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to give track acclimatization a little bit of a go, and I'll show you guys what it's like. So as you head out on track, you'll notice straight away these different markers on every single, on most apexes I believe, in the start of DRS zones here and there. Just crucial key points around the track, heading into braking zones, you know, reference points just before you turn in. And my driving is very sloppy because this is my first laps back on the game, and actually using a wheel for the first time in a very long time. So it's not going to be the best driving at the moment. You can see we're in cockpit cam. The scoring system based on the track acclimatization test is color based. So if you get a red circle, it means you've completely missed the gate. If you get a green one, you've partially hit it, or you've hit it okay but not perfectly. And if you absolutely nail straight through the gate, you'll get a purple circle. So ultimately, you want to get as many purple circles as you can. You'll get better score, and your resource points will be better for that, and your career mode score as well will also be better for that if you absolutely nail every single gate right around the track. As you can see, we completely missed that corner and missed the gate there, so we got a red circle there. Now, you can't just drive around at 5 miles an hour and just expect to get a purple circle. You actually have to drive around at a decent speed. It's based on like an average speed, so you basically have to be pushing. You can't go slow and drive straight through the middle of the circle in order to get the perfect score. It doesn't work like that. So yeah, as you saw there, testing out the handling model here, you'll see that we have no front wing. I just decide to just bin the car and see what happens. That's showcasing the wheel tethers there, and they stay attached to the car no matter what. You saw there, it was actually going under the body of the car there. So the damage model as well has been reworked for this year, and it looks absolutely stunning. So that's the track acclimatization test, and no doubt it's going to be handy for your practice. Introduction to resource points. Resource points provide you with a way to allocate funding to a specific area of development. Spending your resource points is key to improving the car and the team's overall performance. You will gain the majority of your resource points for successfully completing practice programs, with additional points being gained for putting in strong performances in both qualifying and race sessions. The team have allocated your 400 resource points to help kick off development. So, thank you very much to you, Renault.
Hi. Good to meet you at last. My name's Chris, and I'll be working with you as your Chief of Vehicle Development. It'll be my job to get your feedback as a driver and to direct our upgrade design in the areas that you feel are most lacking. At each Grand Prix, we can run a series of practice programs and log the performance of the car as you drive it at its limit. This gives us data that we can utilize to develop various performance improvements. In order for me to know which upgrades to prioritize, I'll need you to select a development area that you'd like us to focus on, and you can do that in the R&D section of your laptop. Anyway, that's all for now, but I'll keep you up to date, okay? I'll see you soon.
So there we go, that's our R&D manager. We will look in the laptop and we'll spend some of these resource points into areas of the car that we feel that we need to improve. So as you can see at the top, we've got engine power, fuel efficiency, chassis weight, downforce, and drag. So all these different elements of the car will obviously improve performance upgrade by upgrade. As you can see, we start off with engine performance, 300 resource points in order to boost the straight line speed. And as you progress through each upgrade, it gets more and more expensive, and I guess the upgrades slowly get better as well. So yeah, it's quite interesting how the whole dynamic works. As you can see off to the right, you can see the vehicle performance comparison, and this is the ladder in terms of the development race, just to see where your car stands on raw performance and pace. So at the moment, Renault, we are third to last, so we've got quite a bit of work to do, but with some development, with some spending, we may even be able to overtake Haas in no, we've only got 400 resource points at the moment. So yeah, if you keep grinding away at it, keep working it away at the resource points, then you will start to overtake a lot of those teams in the midfield. And I think after a few races, maybe we could get really close to the likes of McLaren and Toro Rosso, those guys. And then maybe by the end of the season, if development is really good, maybe we'd be in striking distance of catching Williams. So it's very interesting how this all works. And like I've said in previous videos, it's definitely going to add to the longevity of this game, really developing your car and making it the best it can be. So Yeah, very, very interesting so far. In terms of the upgrades, I'm not too sure where the Renault actually lacks a lot of its pace. The engine power isn't the best, but it also doesn't have the greatest downforce or grip, so it's a bit of a tough one. But if I had to delegate, I am going to say downforce. I'm going to make the handling of the car just a little bit better. I felt like the understeer in the brief few laps that I drove the Renault, I feel like downforce was lacking more than the straight line speed, but I could be wrong, to be honest. So we'll spend those 350 resource points. After that, we'll have not too many after that. Once resource points have been allocated, the R&D team will begin the development of the requested part. Shipping and fitting the part takes time, so the part will not be added to the team car until the following race weekend. So as you guys know, upgrades don't happen, straight away. It's going to take a little bit of time, maybe a race or two. If it's a massive upgrade, it could take even longer. So at the moment, we have 81 resource points left, and unfortunately, there is nothing we can really spend that on. Fuel efficiency is the cheapest, but we still don't quite have enough for that. Maybe if I really put the time in to practice for this race weekend, I could build up even more resource points. But for the sake of this video, not going over an hour, I'm probably going to go off to qualifying 1 now. Guys, what's with the smoke? I'm an asthmatic. Guys, you really ought to sort out that smoke. Is my engine actually failing as we bring it into the pits? Like, what's the deal here, guys? You're acting like nothing's happening. Extreme front wing damage. Repair time is 30 odd seconds, and there we go. That must have been why the car was smoking, although I have absolutely no idea why. I really don't like the look of that smoke trail coming from behind us. We come across the line,
Target times, let's try to find a bit more.
and we set a 131 point something, and still basically last place.
Hey, looks like you've got a bit of rivalry going on out there. This is good. Gets people talking about you. Just make sure you outperform them, okay?
Okay, so introduction to driver rivalry. Rivalry is a head-to-head battle across multiple race weekends between you and another driver. Comparison data is tracked and compared after each qualifying and race session. Winning the rivalry awards you kudos within the team. So our rival, like I said, was going to be our teammate. It's always going to be your teammate when you start off in a new career mode or a new season, I believe. So if we beat Kevin, then we'll go a long way towards cementing our position within the team.
Hi, how are you? I'm just passing on your qualifying goals for this weekend.
Qualifying goals are qualify 17th or higher and set a faster lap than Kevin Magnussen. So like I referred to before in the video, how there's short-term, medium-term and long-term goals within the career mode. Your short-term goals are ultimately to beat the rival and earn kudos within the team, and also show to other teams and people within the sport that you are a serious driver, you're a real talent. The medium-term goals, I suppose, are trying to cement a good championship position, get good points for the team, and then long-term goals are ultimately upgrading the car to make it, a real championship winning threat or something like that. Or maybe a long-term goal would be driving for Mercedes eventually. So those are the kind of like short-term, medium-term and long-term goals that'll motivate you towards getting to the goals that you want to achieve within your long-spanning 10-year career mode. So it's actually really quite interesting, and you can ultimately play out the F1 career that you want to do, whether you want to be in a back market team building it up right from the top, or whether you're just focused on yourself and being a little bit selfish and trying to get the best results possible just for you alone. And maybe that means buggering off your starting team and moving up to Mercedes or what have you. So yeah, that's the hub for career mode. I believe that's all the features are basically covered, but I will go into further detail in other videos. But I have to leave this video here, guys. I'm very sorry. It's going very, very long now, 25 minutes, and we haven't even got to qualifying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video here. In the next one, we'll cover qualifying and we'll also cover the race. And I'm sure that itself is probably going to be another long video as well. So once again, guys, I got to say thank you for watching. Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it. It really helped me out if you left a like on this one. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'll see you guys for a brand new video very soon.